Everyone. Welcome to my live. It's a beautiful day today. And yeah, I'm just thankful that we get to enjoy this day. It's like we should be on permanent vacation. The birds are happy. Something a changing, something a changing. So many birds. I know I have bird food somewhere, but the birds are happy. They're just going from limb to limb. A lot of love bugs. I don't know where you're at. I don't know if you've seen a lot of love bugs. And something's beautiful is going on. Um we can't put our some we can't say something what definitely is happening, but something is happening in our realm. Something is happening. We're beautifully, wonderfully made. We are so loved. We are so loved. Someone decided to keep us in the dark about who we are for such a long time, keep us in slavery, keep us enslaved for such a long time, tried to control this realm by deception, tried to control this realm by turning things literally upside down, by distorting history. And this is what's gonna be my topic today is gonna be that slavery never ended. Slavery never ended. The more the vibration, the more consciousness rise in a realm, the more it is so clear to us about what happened. Um, the distorted history, the Adam and Eve story, certain people and certain sex women have been so ostracized in this era, in this Pisces era, you know. And and what we have to, if you look at this realm, you should know that things and people who are ostracized, those are the people you should draw closer to. Those are the people you should draw closer to, because there's something about women in particular so spiritual that can change the trajectory of this realm, because women are such naturally spiritual beings that by us understanding who we are and walking our divinity and know that we're not just sexualized objects, we're beings, we're not just here to be wives and mothers, you know. And we don't get to walk, and the way they create in a society, they create the society that no woman has to be out there working with their husbands, because no longer can the woman stay home and be the natural nurturers for their home and community. They have to be distracted, and this is what this is something that was done intentionally, you know. This is something that was done intentionally, so we don't get to see, women don't get to operate in their divinity. And then they put them in church and put them in church, because they know whether, and I say this all the time if you follow my channel. The thing that gets me is that we don't remember who we are, but there are beings here that knows who we are and what we're capable of. So they try to fill this realm with things like churches, like schools, like jobs, like even relationships that will stop us from remembering our divinity. Remember that we are naturally, our natural state is that we are gods. That's our natural state. We emanate from that divine source, you know. So they try to fill that with things that are physical, and then and when they feel that thing, and yes, temporary things, they only satisfy us for a short time. Because I remember I wanted a new couch so bad. I bought a new couch, and like in a day, oh, what's next? Because we naturally are divine beings. Physical things doesn't fill that void. What fill that void is when I get a new revelation, when I meditate and tap into the realms and can hear people speak to me. That's what that's what's give me give fill that void. It's like when we're closer, when we feel, and that's when we feel closer to our divinity, closer to our mother, closer to our mother, divine mother. And because I said divine mother, divine mother, the divine feminine, that doesn't mean the men, the men we don't feel that closeness. Yeah, they when men tap into who they naturally are, protectors, of this realm, they do feel, that's when they feel the divine masculine. That's when they feel most themselves. And the same thing for women. So the world try to divide us, you're male, you're female, but we all come from that divine source that we have to go back to and understand, else we're going to reincarnate in this realm. And that's what the Bible try to tell us, that when you come in contact with that divine feminine, with your mother, oh, you'll never be the same again. You'll never be the same again. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. So, and the only way you come in contact with um that your mother is the divine aspect of yourself, is when you go within. Stop looking on the outside. As within, so without. Go within. It starts from within. Understand who you are. Understand the universe. Understand um yeah, understand the universe, understand the scriptures, that it wasn't meant to take in literally. Yeah, you start taking the Bible literally, but then you have to grow. You have to understand who you are. We do, we do, we do. This is not physical. And I don't want to keep saying it because I say it so many times in my videos. This body is just a makeup of electricity and magnetism, and it looks physical, but it's not. It's not physical. It's based on the electromagnetic spectrum coming into the realm, and because our eyes only see 0.01% of what things really look like, we think we're solid. We think everything is solid now. If we're in the present moment, if we have to guard our minds and stay in that present moment and create our reality. We do anyway. I hear someone says, "Oh, I'm not God. I can't create." Yeah, you create your own reality. You create your existence, whatever you're existing right now. And because we're in a distorted reality, the controllers know how to let us create the things that they want us to create, and create a world that take us farther away from who we naturally are. So that's where we're at today. But I want to talk about slavery. they told us about especially slavery, yeah, slavery. But more and more as we come into this divine revelation. What time is it? 5:53 and a bell is ringing. It's weird. Yeah. As we come into this knowledge and understanding of who we are, we get the more it seems as if um first, the slavery never happened the way we were taught in school. Never. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. um Not all black people came from Africa on a boat and was taken to the Americas. Now that's not how it is. That's not how it is at all. And if you go into meditation, your ancestors, your higher self will teach you the history was distorted. So first, we have to remember that black people, and the word black, that is new too. Negroid. So Negro people was in the entire world. And I'm saying the world Africa is modern, but if you break it down, if we come from Africa, it can't be a place on this land. It can't be a place in this world. It has to be another planet. But I know how they tends to do with words, and let us use words and put ourselves in bondage. But let's even the place in Africa. I think Africa, certain as part of Africa, was mostly used for taking prisoners and taking and people who have done wrong to that land back in the day. That's what it was used for. Just like how you see they use Australia. They used to the British would send prisoners to Australia for a time, for a reason. And also the Atlantic slave trade that they talk about, that was to take when they start taking over, when the Negroid people was overthrown, they start taking us to the Caribbean and to the Americas, to Brazil, but people were already there. The black people who were populating in Europe, the black people that was in Europe, was taken to Africa, was taken to um, Brazil, was taken to the Caribbean, the Americas and the Caribbean. A lot of time we read in the books and they said Europeans, and the first thing we think is whiteness. But whatever happened to us happened by our same black people. Um, and I really think we created the gods, and this is coming to me since yesterday when the Bible says the gods created um the earth, and the gods start came down and start mating, and but before that, the Adam and Eve story was, it was the creation of a new race of people. It was the creation of a new race of people, and it can be understood on a deeper level too. And that new race of people that our ancestors created um in the Garden of Eden, that's not the beginning of creation. That's not how things started. That race of people, they were just showing you how that race of people, that they created. And when they said, oh, man has become like us, knowing good and evil, the new race of people didn't understand that. So that Eve line, when Eve ate the apple, Eve came to the knowledge that, listen, we're just like them. That's what the serpent told Eve. And If you read the Nag Hammadi text said it was Sophia who came down and breathed life into Adam after he was created. But yeah, so I think basically the new race of people, when our ancestors created them, they can call them Enlil, whatever, whatever. Listen, they just change names. It's the same people. Each reset, or maybe reset, I would say reset, they change the name. So when we think about thought and Melchizedek, um, and Jesus, they're probably the same people. They're probably the same people, but for a different reset, they were given different names. Yeah, so I think what happened with slavery is when um, so much effort was put into the new race, trying for them to become as human beings, as um not as human beings, but to be um adaptable into society. And I think someone on TikTok mentioned how the Moors spend so much, because remember, they're not connected to the source. These new people are not connected to the source. Oh, the Moors spend so much time um creating colleges and so much things, to let these people become regular people of society. And another thing too, I remember, I was thinking that came to me, the Bible. The Bible is not for people, the original people here on the land. The Bible is not for the original people on the land, the people who are connected to source. We already know that we should not kill. We already know that we should not commit adultery. It seems as if the Bible was written for the new race of people coming in. The problem happened when the people are natural to the realm. What they did, so what the controllers did, they tried to mix everyone in the same pot. Everyone in the same pot. And the original people is divinely connected to source. They're the gods of this realm. And that's why I say slavery is not finished. It was never ended, because when they say black people was enslaved, we're still enslaved because we are the one, because of our divinity, we're still in. And let me say, not just as black as in the skin, who have this DNA, the black DNA, where whoever have that DNA is still keeping this realm running, still keeping this running. And they figured out, after the reset, they know we don't remember who we are, so they figured out how to, um as that movie says, trade places. They let the black people think, listen, you are nothing, you're nothing, you're nothing. So we have that mentality, so we keep building the realm that they want us to build, because the reason for this realm to operate in the 3D, the gods the gods has to to give up their power. The gods using the power against themselves. Yeah, the gods have lost, is ignorant of their capabilities. So that's mainly why, this realm fell so low in consciousness, because the gods don't know who they are. And we're so caught up in the flesh and in the things of this realm, we don't have no time to meditate and to get the download, because we're naturally connected to the divine source, and to get the download, um of who we naturally are, to vibration of the realm to rise. So, so that's what slavery is. Slavery. Emancipate yourself, from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds, and that's what we are in mental slavery. So you have the government that governs your mental. Everything they want us to manifest. We manifest through our mind. And then people say, oh no, we're not gods, because the controllers, it seems as they too is not connected to the divine source. So they are dependent upon us. In spite of the pressures, the oppression and the suppression they put on us, they can't get rid of us, because if they get rid of us, they too are gone, because they need our energy, they need our vibration, and they need our frequency. So every time a disease is coming out, I see another disease on a ship today. We have one in 2020. They put it out there in fear. They put it out. They put whatever they want to put out, and we believe it and we manifest it, and it's bloom. Energy goes where attention goes. If you want these things, let me tell you, these things that they tell us about, it is just put in our face to manifest. So, and I hope, if this, God forbid, and this is a disease, can we manifest healing? We have the power to manifest healing. We read the scripture, and the scripture tell us, where two or three are gathered, um, he'll be in the midst to bless us. And we need two, three, five. What they said, we only need, that's a 10%. So if a million people, say 1,000 people, we out of 1,000, we only need 100 people to change the trajectory of this realm. When they said the revolution won't be televised, because it has to be mental. It has to be mental. So I hope, if we have another scenario where we have another breakout of another disease, and we don't all run and believe and frightened and this and that, but first start with within. First start by getting a few people together and put in healing in the air, manifest healing in the air. That's where we're at now. So it's time for us to get out of this mental slavery, especially the gods who are so distracted and who are not questioning anything. They don't question anything. Churches wasn't created for the gods. The Bible, and the Bible, I said, was created for the gods too, but it's for them. It's for to wake us up, not for us to believe in it literally. Not for us to believe in the Bible literally. So, um, we have to get out of this slavery, get out of this slave ship from Africa. The Africans are our cousins. Africans was taken to the continent. All those countries, Liberia, Ghana, and a lot of those countries was just formed in the 1960s. Can we question everything? Question. The same people who tell us Jesus is coming back to help us is the same people who gave us history. Huh? Same people who tell us that God is outside of us is the same people that give us history. It's all lies. All of us in this realm, it doesn't matter what color you are, we have been used and abused to create a narrative for other beings, people who understand who we naturally are. And we naturally are, as used it against us, as used it against us. And that's something too we should think about when we hear that aliens and people, we all think that there's a mothership out there. I don't know if it does, but I'm kind of scared, because I'm scared that people who have knowledge Because we do, but because we're in this 3D realm, we don't remember, and we're trying to remember. If there are people, beings, not people, beings out there, um, that's good enough to help us remember and not use it against us, because that's what's been going on. And I think also our celebrities, the other night my spirit just got up. So I was so cross after I see the deception of the celebrities that we give our attention. We give them our attention for so many years. The actors, the actresses, they know, and a lot of these, they are hybrids. They're human being mixed with another race. You know, I know some of these NBA players and football players. They're hybrids. And came in this realm and helped the distortion. They help the distortion. Could be, who knows, your coworker. They help to keep us asleep. They're hybrids. So maybe if they want to come here, they have to sign something that they can't tell us. And here we are, we want to be like Mike, and we want to be like LeBron, and we want to be like Selena or whoever, celebrities. We want to look like them, and they're not even human beings. These young people are us. Oh, we want the body they have, we want their lips, we want this, we want that. And these are people that is on, even on the television, the news broadcasters. These are people that is put in place to deceive us. And then you tell us that, oh, we can do anything. You can do anything you want. The American dream, and they know that's a lie. And they know that's a lie. So slavery never ended. We're still enslaved mentally, and it's time for us to wake up and question everything. Question everything. The jobs we have, oh my gosh, that's another thing too. Any real jobs, we should be able to go there when we want and leave when we want. That's a sign of slavery that never ends. And we should go out there and make money, money which is fake, money which is created in leaves. If we go there and exchange our energy, we should be able to live on this world free. There shouldn't be any cost to it. We're putting our energy, or divine energy, into something um that is physical, and that's distortion that shouldn't be able to continue. So I'm saying, if anyone's out there, please, my lives doesn't really get a lot of followers, a lot of people, not anymore, but it has to be said. It has to be said. Try not um to be reactionary, whatever is coming. And when we see that they're coming with another disease, something is happening in our realm. Something is taking place in our realm. Why are they coming with another disease? These are not natural. These are not natural. These diseases are not natural. They know how, this is what gets me. This was what should get you. They know how our body work, where electricity and magnetism, and they know how to distort or feel, so those things can come in and create disease, like how cancer does. They know what to do. They know what to do. They know what to do. Distort our biofield, tap into our biofield, and create those disease to take us out. Don't be scared anymore. We too have the power. We too have the power. They gain from it, even when you talk about it. When you're fearful of it, they gain from it. We need to learn how to heal ourselves by our mind, our thoughts, and our emotion. That's why they keep us apart. That's why they keep us busy. We don't have any time to come together and focus on one thing. We come together and focus on one thing. Oh my gosh. I think they did us an example once. I saw like a group of people hold hands and just focus on breaking the table, and the table broke. That's the power we have. When we say we're gods, we have the divine power that created this realm within us. Within us. So we're creating, and that power is creating the electricity in here, the Wi-Fi, powering our phone, and we don't have any knowledge of it. We don't have any knowledge that it's doing that. So everyone be blessed. Be blessed. Something's going on. Something's good is going on in our realm now. Why they want to distract us with another form of outbreak, with another form of disease. We see people on television. We don't know who they are. We think they're like us. I like that song. They're not like us. They are not like us. They are not like us. So don't give your energy to everybody. Don't give your energy to fear. Don't give you, know thyself. Know thyself. Be blessed, everyone.